net over the week while we were out. And that is boom, boom, boom. Xbox and Amazon agreed to a partnership to bring Xbox Cloud Gaming to Amazon Cubes and Fire Stick. Um, I actually think this is brilliant because they canceled the Keystone, and now they don't have to compete with Amazon or Roku or anybody for shelf space with a streaming device. They are able to instantly penetrate into the market by adding Xbox apps. How are we feeling about this, Jube, Captain Xbox? How are you feeling about this Xbox and Amazon partnership that just got announced?
Looking like a prophet, my guy. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, you talking about me
You
or
called that.
yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
I
you called that. You called
I did.
that like a while ago.
I called it before the generation started. Yes, they will be
You
everywhere.
did. You did. That streaming stick. You've been talking about that streaming stick for bits.
Yeah.
um, I just think it's pretty crazy. Like, it's crazy that they partnered up. It's like you said all these bad things in court about me, bro. And now look at you putting our stuff on your sticks. Like,
Oh
that's
man.
wild.
And
Pause.
and also people forget there's also a gateway drug attached to this Xbox app, and that is Fortnite. You can play Fortnite for free inside the cloud gaming app, and towards
Yep.
the end of the year, you will be able to purchase games and play those games over the cloud in on it won't just be Game Pass. So you won't need a by the end of the year. You won't necessarily
You
need a
won't even need Game Pass,
you
or
won't
you
need
need Game
Game
Pass
Pass.
for the cloud.
Yeah, no, you won't need Game
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do the cloud without.
Game Pass Ultimate. That's like the biggest thing. That's like may having
That
people
gives
keep
you
their Game
cloud
Pass
access,
Ultimate.
though.
Huh?
Game Pass
Yeah,
Ultimate gives you cloud access.
Okay, so
yeah.
you
That's like what gives you the cloud. Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
they might do it to where you don't need Ultimate. You might just need the base tier to play games that you own. They might do that.
All right, that'd be
Unless
fire.
unless they want to give you strictly cloud streaming without the Xbox or PC, then that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So like you might like get like Game Pass Core for $60 a year, and every game you own in your library you can play over the cloud. That might happen. Um,
That could happen for sure.
yeah. But
I'll see. We'll see.
before I move on to Nappy, you have any other thoughts on this deal, Jube?
I just think it's exciting. Like it shows you these companies can get along sometimes.
Okay.
I would have loved to be a fly in that room to hear how those conversations went.
Is
But
this something that appeals to you personally, or do you just think this is something that
I
is
just think it's
just
neat
strictly for the casual market in your eyes?
for those of us with kids. This is for you. Them
Mhm.
streaming sticks is mad cheap. Kid want to play the game? Go copy one of them cheap little streaming sticks and you're good.
Yep.
Along with, the sub.
Um, and one of the things that I saw before I move off of Jube, um, is that for every person that uses that streaming service, Xbox is going to be able to count them as a quote unquote console gamer, even though they didn't purchase a Series X or a Series S. But really, more so what that does is it allows them to go to third party developers and say we have this many users um that are because every cloud user has to access a Xbox Series uh S or X server blade. So I guess that's how they
Right.
count them as a console user. Um,
Hmm.
so it allows them uh to have more influence over where these third party games end up as far as being on their platform. Um, so
Right.
even if it's not a service that you're necessarily interested in on your Fire Stick, if it has a decent attach rate, it does impact the type of titles that end up coming to your platform. Um,
Right.
which I think is a big. Um,
Mhm.
any thoughts on that before I jump off you, Jube? I'm about to jump up to Nappy.
Nah, go ahead and jump up to Nappy. Like I
All
said,
right.
I think it's great.
I feel like
Like
Nappy's been
I'm
chewing
glad.
at the bit a little bit. So, Nappy, how you feeling about this Xbox Amazon deal?
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, like I said, they are already inside TVs. Like I was actually shocked that if you were to have a wire connection directly into your router and you have like a decent speed internet, you can get some pretty decent Xbox like console like gaming experience through your TV already with the streaming service. So the fact that it's on a Fire Stick is doesn't surprise me at all. I think this is definitely going to entice people to get the Game Pass subscription to just stream it onto their Fire Sticks. It's going to make more people play Xbox over the cloud network. Now, I think the biggest hurdle right now for Microsoft is that the cloud streaming service only supports one X input device at a time. Now they try to get around that by if you have multiple devices, you can have a family plan, make a family plan so that way multiple people can use different devices under one plan. But I think what they should do is focus to see how they can get multiple X input devices to work simultaneously with the streaming service.
I think part of that, I think the reason that is because how Xbox works. I haven't really done local multiplayer on a PlayStation. I'm the only one that plays on PlayStation. But for Xbox, you got to log into a profile, and even if it's a guest profile, you have to log into a profile in order to play the multiplayer game. And I think that's probably what the holdup is.
I mean, it could be. We don't understand. I don't know why, but yeah, that's like one of the things. Because I mean, it's great that like little Timmy can now play on a Fire Stick, but if his little brother Tom wants to play too, they both can't play on the same Fire Stick at the same time. They have to take turns.
You know what that does? That makes them go buy Series S.
I mean, it's
all about being a gate. Like this deal is all about being a gateway drug. It's all about getting you into the Xbox ecosystem. So once you're in, you're more likely to purchase more hardware, more software. That's the whole intent. And the beauty of it being like in Amazon, like Amazon it has very sneaky ways of getting you to purchase things.
No, they do all right. They definitely it's very sneaky indeed.
Whether you really intend to or not. So like the way I see this going is, you know, people watching Fallout, at the end of every Fallout show, there's gonna be a little press OK to sign up for Game Pass at the end of every episode. And then people are gonna sign up for Game Pass for 1 month free, and then next thing you know, they're locked in. And people and I'm guilty. When you do that, you end up paying like 3-4 months, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, what is this that keep coming out? And it gets to the point where, you know, a lot of people just don't care, and they just maintain that subscription. That's another thing with this deal that I think is going to be beneficial to Xbox, is that people just sign up for stuff.
They're going to sign up and they're not going to cancel out their subscriptions.
When it comes to Amazon, like I'm guilty. I know plenty of other people are. You're next thing you know, you got toilet paper showing up at your house every 2 weeks. You don't quite know why. And you're like, let me log in.
You signed up for that subscription at 2 months.
Yeah, let me log.
They got you.
Let me log in and fix this. I don't need fucking toilet paper every 2 weeks. So I mean, stuff like Amazon's good at that, man. I'm just saying, Xbox, like Amazon will get your money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if Microsoft's going to be using the same tactics. I mean,
it's not an Amazon. Like I said, no, Amazon is going to use those tactics. It's not going to be.
Microsoft
Amazon is going to be using those tactics. It's not going to be Microsoft. It's going to be Amazon, because I'm sure they get a cut. They're going to get a cut of every Game Pass subscriber that they get, and they're only on Amazon. Like Amazon's going to get paid for it.
No, I could definitely see that. I'm like I said, I'm really curious. I mean, like I said, Sharon like, yes, this is great for like if one person's on Game Pass and they can cloud stream on their TV or Fire Stick, it's really great. Now, if you have like multiple siblings, you're probably going to lean towards that. Wait, what happened to that family plan? Is that still a thing?
It was only a pilot in select countries. We don't know if it's ever going to make it out of that pilot into the
Yeah, because you're
market.
gonna need. Yeah, because like I said, if this whole, I know it seems like they're trying to make it where like a whole family can stream their games on like any device possible. I mean,
They haven't
you're
said
gonna have to.
they haven't said anything about multiplayer. They've just strictly made it known that it's going to be available.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm just curious because I mean, hey, mommy might pay for 2 different subscriptions, even though one kid could play on the Fire Stick, the other one gonna play on his phone with like a little mobile controller. You know, just
Hey, even that is cheaper than buying a console or buying like a new game every.
it depends. I mean, it can be. So I'm like be curious to see how many people are gonna play on a Fire Stick. I'm also wait, does the Fire Stick have a USB port for plugging in your controller, or is it
You
gonna
know,
rely
it's on
on
Bluetooth. Bluetooth.
it relies on blue? Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm a competitive well, I'm always play.
This
I won't
is
be playing competitive games, so
this is
That's
for the
fair.
casual market. This is this endeavor is aimed towards the casual market to bring in a new player base of people who have not considered themselves to be gamers. Like those people that watch Fallout and they want to try it out, you know, it's for those
game
people.
Game Pass streaming on your TV. Well, yeah, streaming on your TV. Or
It eliminates the $500 barrier for people who have always been interested or who gain an interest even for a short period of time. If you capture their interest for a short period of time, you're able to grab them for cheap and then maybe keep them for a long period.
yeah, that will be the goal. I mean, Xbox games library is forever expanding. They just put Robin Hood on here. They
Yeah, it's in Game Pass. Yeah.
EA Sports PC 24.
I mean FC.
Yeah, EA Sports FC 24
You
is
said
now on
PC.
the
You
Game
said
Pass.
PC 24.
No, not I'm my apologies. FC. I mean, their library's forever growing, and Jesus, they got a shit ton of games.
Yeah,
So you can't get bored. I mean, like, and now it's oh my god, when COD comes out in October, I'm curious about how many people are going to try to play that over streaming service.
you get a COD advertisement. Oh, did you see the leak about a potential being able to play through Nvidia GeForce Now on your Xbox?
Yeah.
If they partner with Nvidia GeForce Now, that is actually I mean, Nvidia does have good streaming service. They are known for their good streaming service, but Xbox is starting to rival Nvidia with the way they're going.
Yeah, but it's just another thing that kind of takes the load off of the Xbox server because in some areas you can get some pretty long wait time in order to hop in out. They don't really,
Yeah,
they don't really have the capacity. That's one thing that we're gonna have to see is with this deal being in place, how do they handle that capacity?
yeah, that is a good point. Because yeah, once this COD comes out, I think COD's going to be a really game changer for
Big COD.
Yeah, it's gonna all them filthy casuals are gonna just run over. Well, they're not gonna switch over to Xbox because they already got PlayStation 5s. I mean, this console generation is kind of already set.
But if the cloud gaming is really, really good, there could be some people who own other platforms that are like, I don't want to buy a new Xbox, but I'll play it on my streaming stick that I already have. It has to be really good though. It has to be.
Oh my god!
It has to be.
4K TVs, you're gonna need like 100 megabit constant or something for that input latency too, because that's a heavy input latency like game.
Well, ooh. There are some people who might just play it for the
campaign.
Yeah, there's some people who might just play for the campaign. Not when COD comes out. I'm probably just gonna play it for the campaign. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in multiplayer person.
I'll play for the multiplayer. Like I said, I've been playing the multiplayer. I have not subscribed to any season passes. I actually no, I take that back. I did subscribe to one for the first time just to see what it was, and I automatically got like a bunch of these zombie like death skins.
See,
And I was like, oh, so this is what people are missing out on. And it's I will say that COD does a nice where it cross transfers over to Warzone Mobile, so it's kind of like one battle pass for like two different versions. I'll give him props for that.
The reason I won't be doing the multiplayer is because I'm not a heavy first person shooter player. And if I decide to do multiplayer, I'm going to want to get good at it. And if I decide to get good at it, I'm not playing it. Like, I will.
I mean, just go brain dead. That's what I do. I just go brain dead, just run around, shoot people.
Nah. Ain't nobody.
Yeah, you gotta have precision, but
y'all
still,
not gonna be talking shit in my ear, busting my ass. 3 months into the game, if I decide to do multiplayer, it's gonna take me like 3 weeks, and I'm not going to sleep, and I'm gonna get good.
I'm not gonna sleep. Damn.
And I'm gonna get good at it. And I'm gonna start busting ass, but that I don't want to do that because once I get good at it and I start having too much fun, I'm not gonna play nothing else. Then y'all gonna be talking about all he plays is Madden and COD.
I mean, hey, we'll see. I'm curious to see how many people are going to play Game Pass on the Fire Stick. I just want to see it for curiosity. Yeah. I was shocked at how my TV handled Game Pass with any of my X input controllers. So I want to see how the Fire Stick handles it.
Yeah, I want to. Me too. I also want to see how well they're able to attach themselves to the casual market. Even if they were to pick up 5-6 million, like just off of Amazon, that would be huge. That would be like
that'd be
like a 10-15% growth for Game Pass.
I mean, honestly, but the thing about it is Game Pass is starting to, like, it's on LG TVs now as well.
It's not on LG.
Like, they're
yet.
not.
It's coming to LG. It's not there yet. I looked over the weekend. It hasn't officially launched. For LG.
Oh, it hasn't. Oh, I'm about to say, like, it's like Game Pass is coming everywhere. They're not stopping.
They're putting them.
They don't care what you play on, as long as you play. That's all they care about.
They're putting themselves in a position to where when they do hit their quote unquote critical mass, that it'll be available everywhere, so people can easily jump into it. When Game Pass becomes the big thing like Netflix did, they will be everywhere, so it'll be very easy for people to just jump in and get access. But let's jump down to our good friend Zero, who is part of the Xbox community, but does not consider himself a bot.
Never.
What are your thoughts on this Xbox Amazon partnership, and what threat does it pose to big Nintendo over there?
I'm not to be down on it, but I'm just not that interested. Jubei said a kind of a word I guess I would appreciate. It's neat.
Yeah, I don't think.
But neat.
I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to mean a lot to you because you're not that type of gamer.
I'm not convinced it means a lot to a lot of people. And that just remains to be seen. I understand the idea of ease of play anywhere and everywhere. And so it becomes a neat little thing that you can do. And it is possibly cheaper if you're part of that sort of space or ecosystem. I'm just not convinced. Well, first things first is I'm happy Xbox that you can be anywhere and everywhere. But as I've been saying since time immemorial, like, where are my games? Bro, like that we're talking about, oh, we can make Fortnite here. That's fine. Okay. Fortnite's everywhere already. I'm not interested in any other places to play Fortnite. I am interested if I can plug this Fire Stick in and play a really good Halo. Sure, Call of Duty's coming, so I'm sure that'll be as good or even better than what we've seen before because they have some time to cook. But my first thought is, what a cool device for a system that is yet to really be giving me interesting things to play on it. But I do understand that Xbox isn't necessarily going for that route anymore, and so that's just part of my base nature about like how I view gaming. But either way, I'm just like it just becomes the video game machine, and it's not a bad thing. But admittedly, it just sort of makes me less interested in Xbox as a whole. Because quite frankly, I stop viewing it as Xbox and start viewing it as Microsoft. So Xbox isn't doing anything. Microsoft is getting a little device that puts on your thing. Microsoft is the software system that is on my computers. It's a Microsoft device, and I don't mean to. Like, I understand that they're separate, and I don't treat it the same way that because it's not Sony, right? Like Sony Pictures does not make Sony video games. But if we're just going for a box that's everywhere to just play video games, I think inevitably at some point Xbox just goes away.
I don't think Xbox ever goes away because the brand name.
Well, true, like the brand name is there, yeah. But like
it's stable now.
If the idea is just like the Xbox in and of itself is not important.
You talking about the actual box?
The software is what's important.
Well, the software is always what's most important, but I don't think the box is going anywhere because the internet, they don't have the servers to have the capacity for 100% of their user base to only be on cloud. That's just not.
Yeah, even looking at the even looking at United States like underground fiber infrastructure, it doesn't connect to a good majority of different states. And they will have to do a lot of digging and a lot of cable running to get everyone to that point. Yeah, which I don't think Microsoft's even legally allowed to do in our country.
Yeah, it's not devalue. I don't think it's devaluing the box. I think and I don't think it's as you were saying earlier. I don't think it makes it a thing where people are just running to the stores to get Game Pass on their Fire Stick or just running to their TVs to add a Game Pass subscription. What I do think it does is it puts Game Pass and Xbox in a place where we are now an impulse buy for the casual market. It is nothing for someone to make an impulse purchase now to buy into Game Pass. Versus before, no one's making an impulse purchase on a $500 console or even a $200 console where you still have to buy a game. You're still going to pay about $300 to start your console gaming experience if you're not a gamer already. That's a pretty big upfront cost to dive into something new that you're not even sure that you'll be 100% interested. So I think the biggest thing is that it puts gaming in a position console gaming at least, in a position to where it's an impulse buy the same way that mobile gaming is now an impulse buy. People impulsively just buy microtransactions and buy $2.99.
I understand that point, but that's to me what I mean by then it becomes less about the box itself. Because if the software is the impulse buy, and I've already spent the $1,000 on the TV in order to play the $50 and then the $50 to buy the little stick that will play the software, I will impulsively buy all of the software or just Game Pass and just keep that on there and let subscriptions run. But there's nothing really compelling for me to then go out and buy the box.
Yeah, that's true. But hey, if you buy any of the accessories, you get these Game Pass Ultimate cards with damn near any accessories.
So like Nappy was saying earlier, you buy into Game Pass or Xbox Cloud Gaming, whatever it is, and you decide that you want to do local co-op, but you can't do it on your stick. That's enough to convince someone to buy a Series S if it's on sale. I think so. Like they're a
Well,
little
I mean,
unless some major quality of life improvements take place to where multiplayer and things like that are available. I think there are things that will get people to transition to actually getting native experience.
I'm still a little concerned about whether or not Series S, how long that system's going to be around in general.
They just announced the new model of it dropping this in the winter, so it ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
The 2 terabyte version.
I mean,
No, the 2
anytime.
terabyte, the 2
It's a
terabyte is for
1
the
terabyte.
X, but they announced some sort of update to the Series S.
So
dropping.
they're making a 1 terabyte white one. The only 1 terabyte white S that's out is black.
Yeah,
I
but-
think what they're moving to is they want their digital consoles to be white and their non-digital consoles to be black.
Yeah,
Because they're gonna pull that black Series S off the market. So
Yeah.
Dang, should have got one. Could flip that joint.
I could have got you, man. You know, that would have been
Well,
unopened
it's-
box,
it's-
man.
it's
What?
It's not too late. You can still walk into a store and buy one.
Let's see if Costco
uh,
got it.
The white ones don't drop until the winter time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, like I'm interested because I think it's interesting, and like quite frankly, I have an Amazon Fire Stick. It's not even a difficult thing to just try out. But I also own an Xbox Series S.
I really want that Galaxy Black joint.
It's something you can take on vacation. Like
I
you
want
said,
it.
you were just on vacation. It's something you can take on vacation or a business trip with you, where you don't have to pack your entire console. You just take
I think, but see, stuff like that, like you can, and children might, because children are like they're going to be the future, and so they get this stuff more than the generation before them. But even just sort of observing now, you are far better suited to get people to just get the thing that's on the TV rather than someone bringing their Fire Stick. First and foremost, a lot of hotels don't even let you put in your Fire Stick into the TV.
And they, a lot of them
Because-
don't
Yeah, a
even
lot of them don't, yeah.
like support HDMI ports.
Yeah,
they
because-
lock them shits down.
Because frankly, why would I? Why would I give you access to my devices? You can log in. Now, almost every TV you go to in a hotel now has, you can sign in with your Netflix, with your Pandora, with your Hulu, or we'll give it to you for free, whichever way. But the actual device, that's no bueno. So you can't really do that from a travel perspective unless you're going to a place that just has a regular TV. And then that can work, I think. But I think you still run the risk of just like, well, people are still going to want to bring the console or just be used to it in that space. So I'm when I hear you say impulse buy, what I think about, like, if I'm in a supermarket, like, this is the gum, and the idea that like this gum or this magazine or this ever might lead you back to aisle 10 to go pick something else up, and it most certainly could.
Yeah.
Or it's just a thing that you get that you forget about. Microsoft makes money regardless, right? Like, they make money, it doesn't matter, because if you get people to sign up for that Game Pass subscription on this little device, they will inevitably forget it.
Well,
And 3 or 4 years might go by before they finally realize, hey, why am I still paying this?
yeah. So I'm kind of
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking like you're watching a gaming show, like Fallout or Halo on Paramount Plus, or one of those Arcane or Cyberpunk or whatever. And if the show has a game and that game is in Game Pass, there'll be that little Amazon Alexa thing that pops up in the bottom right corner that says, "Hey, do you want to try this game on Game Pass? Press OK to continue." And that's where you get your impulse buys.
Yep.
I think
Hmm.
possibly, but I
Because-
think part of that, and I
just
think
had
part
one
of that
them pop up for
challenge-
me- I just had one of those pop up to me today for a author that I buy a lot of their books. I was just watching the thing, and the little thing popped. His book is on sale for 99 cents. Had that pop
like I think particularly TV is still doing its best to stay in its most traditional model ever, and so advertisements for them need to lead to eyeballs and money.
Yeah.
It's not really leading to eyeballs and money for Amazon if they're telling you to actually take your eyeballs off of this and go to Microsoft to go get this thing. Now, perhaps you could buy it through Amazon, and that might work.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
But to me, that traditional, like, I watch a lot of Amazon TV. They don't put any ads in there outside of actual commercials. Nothing pops up on my screen telling, "Hey, do this."
I just had one pop up today while I was watching. They were trying to sell me a book, literally.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the easiest layup in the world right now is we're on season 4 of The Boys. It would functionally make sense to go pop up and say, "Want to see where this came from? Go buy The Boys comic book here at Amazon."
Yeah.
Oh hell
It
no!
doesn't. It doesn't do it for Lord of the Rings. It didn't do it for Reacher. Like, these are big deal shows for them that all come from already established source materials. Amazon does not redirect to tell you to go do this.
Yeah, they should do that.
I'm not. They should. Maybe they shouldn't. But, like, and then so Microsoft has to convince Amazon, who, you know, has more money than God, to do this, and they might not see it worth it because they're dealing with an entirely different set of rules and standards and people. TV people are not video game people.
That's true.
I agree. That's what I'm saying, but I 100% agree with you.
So again, like, I am interested. I will say I'm interested. I'm not going to be completely down on this. I'm very interested to see how it works and how it operates. Because for a gamer of my age, it makes it a little easier.
But I don't think this is
Like,
for gamers. That's my biggest thing. I don't necessarily think it's for game. I think gamers will use it, but I think this is to reach a new audience.
I think if you set it up properly, then what you've effectively made is just a portable gaming device that in which I don't have to spend $500. Particularly if I'm weighing between, am I going to get my PlayStation or an Xbox? Well, now it's very easy to have both.
Yeah.
And hey, Zero, I have a question for you. Okay, well, you don't have kids. You have like nieces and nephews, right?
Yes.
Okay, say for instance, would you get does your nieces and nephew has phones already, like smartphones?
Yeah.
And 5G internet on their phone plans?
Do they?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do, because you only need like 10 megabyte streamings to do decent. Would you be imperative, or like say for instance, if your niece and nephew say they want to get into the Xbox ecosystem, would you get them like a mobile controller for their device? Like say for instance this, for example, and it comes with a free month of Game Pass Ultimate just to, for them to test it to see if they like the Xbox Ultimate app on their mobile phone, and then like would that impair you to actually like get this for your kids, and then you just forget about it and the kids now have Xbox Game Pass on their phone and they play it all the time? You think this will work?
No. The only reason I'd say that is because phones have too many competing pieces of software. So it is far more likely that they will spend all of their time on their phone doing TikTok or YouTube than they will playing video games. And to put it like, in fact, I watch how almost after every match of Smash Brothers, my niece is on her phone. Yeah. And she's just going through TikTok. And I was like, look up. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, back to the game. And then once the game's over, it's back to the phone. Like,
that is scary. But
unfortunately, phones, like,
the mobile space is too competitive to maintain someone's attention on a AAA title.
Yeah,
it just is. There's too much stuff competing for your eyes on your phone, whether it's a text message, a phone call, an email, social media. It's just I couldn't game on my primary phone.
Neither could I.
For more than like 20 minutes. Couldn't do it. Yeah. Couldn't do it.
And largely because they've trained us not to, right? Like, And it's little things like we're in our Twitter chat. I'm playing Resident Evil on my phone, and I see, oh, Nappy said something. Hold on, let me see what he said. So now I've stopped the game.
Yeah, it pulls me out the game completely. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
dang.
Yeah, and now I might have an hour-long conversation with you, and I'm supposed to be playing Resident Evil, and like I've not done it anymore.
Yeah, I was just asking because because when Farrell was bringing up the whole like ads coming on and thing, I was wondering like, would that be like a similar thing with like for kids and mobile scene? Because it seems like I think this honestly Game Pass is trying to get Gen Alpha.
Yeah,
because they're the only people that seem to be susceptible to like, oh, where Game Pass can be played anywhere. Let's grab their attention. It's on your phone. It's on your TV. It's on your Fire Stick. It's on your console.
I just
sell it to them as an app.
I just see how Amazon advertises to me personally. Like I feel like sometimes my controller doesn't work on purpose when I first load up my my Fire Stick. When I first turn my TV on, like the stick won't move for a second, and then if you don't move your stick when you first boot it up, it starts playing the commercial. I like to do that on purpose because my remote won't work. My remote won't work for like the first like 30 seconds sometimes. Then the advertisement pops up, and I'm like, I don't want to see that.
I wonder how many purchases do you make after the advertisement?
I don't make any, but I've done seen like the Amazon Lunas. I've done seen like they be advertising to me when I walk in I have a little Echo in my kitchen. When I walk in my kitchen, they're trying to sell me something. They're always trying to sell me shit, man. They are very pervasive in their salesmanship. Like you can't walk past. I can't walk past an Amazon device without someone trying to sell me something.
They monitoring you.
And you make a good point because like Gen Alpha is the app generation, right? Like they fundamentally understand things as applications and not programs or anything else. Like my niece and nephew don't call them commercials; they call them ads. And it's for anything. Like if we're watching Family Feud and a commercial comes on, she's like, "Oh, ads are on." I was like, "This." I mean, I guess it's technically an ad, but not in the way we understand it. She does not separate between the 5-second mobile ads you get on your phone and the 30-second Tide commercial that you see on TV. They're all one and the same to them. Yeah. And it's like, that's such a wild thing. And I imagine that those on the panel who have children, like, will see it. Like, you'll begin to, like, they're preteens for me, but, like, you'll see how they talk about things that are the same thing we describe them as, but they just say different terminology for them because they view them very differently. And so I would not be surprised to, like, you plug in the Fire Stick, like, let me play the Xbox app. Let me play Xbox. Let me play the Xbox app.
Yeah, so
let me play the Xbox app, Mom.
Yeah, we don't do commercials over here. So Amazon is the only one that gets me when my thing freezes up. Like I pay for YouTube Premium. I got
what? I've been a YouTube Premium player too. People call me crazy for that.
I got the higher tier of Amazon, so they don't do that one commercial before the show starts.
Nah. I just ignore it.
I pay literally. It's like $1 more or $1.99 more. I pay that $1.99.
Nah.
I'm part of the problem because I have all of the streaming services.
I don't have them all. I have a good amount. I have a Crunchyroll, Netflix, Disney Plus.
I canceled Disney Plus.
Showtime, Stars, Epic. I think that's it. I got like 6 or 7. I don't got them all.
I have Showtime.
Well, I still have cable. So as part of my cable,
so do I. Like I'm also part of the problem with cable too.
As part of my cable package, I paid $15 and you get all the movie. You get all the movie channels, and then if you have the movie channels, you get the subscription service. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't pay for all the subscription services. Part of them are just built into my cable package.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be cool to see though. Like, again, I am interested. I am interested just to see like, how's it gonna look and how's it gonna play, and it's so accessible that I can very easily try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll know how successful this was in the first year. I think we're gonna have to wait like a good 5 or 6 years to see like what this really does with the casual market. Got to see where just where cloud gaming goes in general, and see like what this attach rate really looks like, and does it actually lead to more consoles? It'll be interesting.
Imagine it's an easy experiment that doesn't necessarily cost a lot.
Yeah, because I do think there's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of people. I do think there's going to be at least, I'll say at minimum, 1 million people sign up for Game Pass through Amazon now, like just by hitting like the simple OK prompt on their Fire Sticks or their Fire Cube, whatever Fire device.
Our cubes.
Yeah, because um, it's only so long before they're on the Fire tablet. If they're on the Fire Stick, it's only a matter of time. Then you're on Fire tablets, and when you're on Fire tablets, then you get the children locked in. Is to me, I think there's uh, a steady path that they're going on towards like to putting themselves in a position where mass adoption is possible when they can reach their goal of 100 million subscribers. I think
I will say, if they can somehow manage something with Apple, I think they have a very clear pathway to do something like that.
Apple's not going to happen, and we all understand that Apple's not going to happen. It would take.
I know.
It would take.
It was just like
an act of God for.
Yeah, it's like when you had mentioned like, oh, we're going to be on our Fire tablets. I was like, would they, or would they be on their iPads? And if you can get those ads on their iPads, you're cooking.
Yeah, because
I mean,
you can't even get the Xbox app on the iOS store. So yeah, it's just not happening. Yeah.
I don't know why I mean, hey, no, there's a lawsuit about it, so they're like freedom. They're giving people the freedom to side download. Apple's pissed off about it, but they've been losing cases left and right.
Well, the issue is that that they're running into is that Apple is enforcing policies that these app makers have to sign up to that are very punitive if they do decide to sideload those apps, and they're gonna have to go to court again over that.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, hey, Apple did partner up with Sony to make all their DualSense controllers have native support for all Apple products. So who knows? Maybe Sony can be like, "Hey, Apple, we need help. We need to compete with Game Pass."
Yeah, if they want to give Apple some money, because that's the biggest issue that Xbox and Apple have is that Apple wants revenue for everything generated inside the app. So if you purchase a game inside the PlayStation app or inside the Xbox app, they would have to get a portion of that. They want to cut of that sale.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and Apple doesn't own Sony, unlike how Microsoft owns Xbox. So.
And they wanted a percentage of Game Pass subscription on their device too.
Yeah, Microsoft's going to say screw that.
Yeah, so that's why Game Pass never made it past beta on the Apple, because it was on Game Pass. They did have Game Pass in beta on Apple for a while. That's kind of what killed it. But yeah, great show. Kept it right under 2.5 hours. We can roll right into our outros. Let me get a timestamp for the outros. What we got?